Hello again, and welcome to another installment of Revit 2020 certification video. And this time I'm going to show you how to adjust your view range or change your view range. How do they say it on the manage view range? Okay, so that's what we're doing. A view range is basically how deep, or what is the range that you can see. How far above the ground to how far to the ground. And there's kind of a default setting, and there's also a default understanding in the architectural industry that when you're looking at a plan like this floor plan view, that it is representing a view that is cut off 4 feet above the floor. Okay, now to manage your view range, there's a couple of ways to do this. Let's first go into the most basic way of doing it, and it's view range right here. So I'm going to click on Edit. And these are my options here in the dialog. So the top range is at 7 foot 6 inches. The cut plane is actually at 4 feet. And that's where I was talking about, where everything you're looking at is 4 feet above the ground. Everything above 4 feet up to 7 foot 6 inches would be represented by hidden lines in most cases, but of course you can see that our walls are not represented that way. Okay, we really don't represent walls like that. Walls are different. What we do represent this way with the hidden lines and stuff like that is maybe furniture, shelving, kitchen casework, bathroom casework, things like that. Okay, things that are secondary to the main structure. And of course you can see the very bottom is associated level 1. So everything is associated with level 1. We can actually see. Then we also have a view depth option, and it also says associate level 1. Now the view depth and the bottom will both, if you want to change that, they both need to say the same thing. So if you want to go unlimited or level below, you need to do the same thing right here, at least to my knowledge. That's the way it's always worked for me in the past. Okay, but that's how you would change that. So let's say our bottom is level 1. We want to see level below level 1. I don't know if there's anything there. And we apply. It says view depth plane is set above the bottom clip plane. Okay, so that's why we need to change this one too. Okay, so it's going to be level below. Click, and there really isn't anything to see. If I had a slab or foundation there, I would probably see that. But I don't have any of that here. But that's how you change your view range. You can even change your cut plane. Okay, and of course I always go back and try to remember to set these back as well. Okay, so if you wanted to change your cut plane, you could change that. Maybe you were getting some things, maybe that were just a little above 4 feet, but you wanted them to show solid with a solid line, then you would change that to whatever height that was. I would be careful with that, however. Okay, so that is how you change your view range. That's the primary way. Okay, but there is another way to do this, and that's with range base level. Okay, so if you're working and maybe you're placing some electrical fixtures and you really need to see what is below the level that where you're placing these at, then of course you can come here, and the more levels you have, the more will show up in this list. And of course right now the range base would just have to be level 1 because that's all we've got. If I were on level 2, I could actually go into level 2 and then change this range base to level 1 and be able to see what was below level 2. Maybe for some reason, or actually a lot of reasons, I might want to see the walls that are below level 2 so I can sort of line up my walls for the second floor. I might want to use those first floor walls as sort of a guide for structural reasons. All right. So that's basically how you work with view range. So if you're looking at a view and you say, okay, well, I want to do something, especially this happens with light fixtures all the time. You come in, you pick up, do some light fixtures like in components, and you choose some light fixtures and you come in here and you start placing them, and it's like, I can't see them. They're not there. Okay, that's where we need to come over and look at our view range instead of just continually placing lights everywhere until for some magical reason they show up, which they're not going to. Okay, so we would need to change this view range right here in order to make it to where we can see those light fixtures that you're placing, which would typically be on the ceiling. Okay, now that is it for managing your view range. We'll see you on the next video.